Hey guys, welcome back.
Hello.
We are Marianne now.
Yeah.
I think it's been a little over a week, maybe a week and a half, since we recorded last. And within that week and a half, I had a baby. Yay! So here we are with the baby. Alright. Recap on the relationships.
Zach or Isabel.
I don't think she really knows me that much. Profile. Marianne. Okay, Marianne McCullough. She was born July 14th. She's Cancer. She's 30 years old. She's 5'11", so she's a decent height. Occupation, interior designer, former architect. Nationality is Irish. Religion is Roman Catholic. Education is Bachelor of Arts in Architecture. She likes chocolate, cats, classical arts, country music, karaoke, board games, video games, anime and other obscure pop culture items, and yoga. Left in a dumpster as a baby, she was found by a peddler and spent most of her childhood roaming the countryside in a beat-up van. Her father taught her how to read, write, and pray. Though an unconventional life, it was all she knew. Child welfare and protection eventually caught on, and required that she have a proper education. She was provided a scholarship at St. Samanthan School for Young Ladies, and was bullied for being a charity kid. Marianne only had one friend and was mostly focused on her studies, intent on graduating and returning to her father. Ashamed that he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's soon after. Her work as an architect in Ireland lasted until the Irish economic crisis. She moved to England and after some time, Luxburn in search for a better career opportunities. Dojo kiddo. Alright. The numbers are so little on the top of my screen, and they glare at me with such intensity that I can just hear their accusations. I'm late for a night out with the girls, yes, but I have a perfectly good excuse. Jeez. Considering I didn't follow typical office hours, I can't be hard though. I know what it is with reading and yawning. Actually, did you know if you continuously talk, like if you keep speaking, and you don't stop for breath, your body forces you to yawn, because you inhale more oxygen when you're yawning. Yeah. Just in case no one knew that, that's the reason why. Though I do try to take breaths. I don't know. Apparently I'm not doing it good enough. Hold on a minute. Before I continue, where's the lamp? There is a silhouette of a lamp. Where's the lamp?
Don't see one. I see ceiling lights, that's it.
Where's the lamp? What is this? Where's the lamp? Guys, where is this lamp? I'm so confused. Okay, whatever. I feel like I have to yawn again. Oh, gosh. Alright, anyway. Considering I didn't follow typical office hours, they can't really expect me to be able to just go as I please at 5:30 on the dot. The client, first and foremost, is my priority. I have to sit tight when my personal assistant, Chris, tells me we have a big one coming up and that I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more on the who's who and the what's what when it comes to these socialites, and I trust that judgment call. I really don't have time for rich people, their drama and their politics. These sort who were born with silver spoons in their mouths and who are used to wagging their silver tongues about. I let him handle the negotiating with them for the most part. Why else would I have hired him? But he told me I'd received a message about it an hour ago.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on. I have a social life too, you know. To an extent. Sort of. Pressing my head against the table, I try to stave off an oncoming headache when the notification for a new email pops up. All I'm expecting is a, "Hey, this looks like a good project I found. Go send them a design," or something like that, really. That's how it often goes. Even with these rich, jammy clients who's heard of me from their equally rich, jammy friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. Which is all well and good and reasonable. We figure out what they want, send them my portfolio, my drafts for their projects, my rates, and hope for the best. This is a big client, Marianne. I'll babysit Berthiel for you. Just please take this one project. I promise this person is huge in Luxburn. Mr. Parker, this is a formal request to secure the services of Marianne McCullough, hereinafter called the designer, as authorized by Hannah Wright, hereinafter called the client, for interior design work at the Ermengarde Mansion, Luxburn, LX180RF, United Kingdom. The client hopes to have the designer there on the 21st of October, on Friday, with the time pending. But as I open the email and see that I've been requested by this client specifically, well, I certainly didn't expect that, and it's pretty straightforward, too. Anyone else would probably be excited. They would be working with the Hannah Wright. She's just one of those rich socialites that everybody loves talking about, no matter how hard I try to tune out such nonsense. It would have been enough for me to reply an affirmative to Chris and leave, but he has never pleaded for me to take a project before. We've worked with big personalities in the past, celebrities, bankers, and even a few politicians. My PA had been indifferent about those. So the question bounced about my skull before I spy one of the email attachments. A newspaper clipping from the Luxburn Daily's business news section, boasting the headline, "Wright Enterprise donates $2.5 million to refuge." Certainly caused quite a stir back then. Apparently, they had invited businessmen and socialites everywhere, in the guise of it being some big business announcement.
$2.5 million and an expensive-looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
Not that I should be so callous. They're going to do a lot of good and help a community of people with all those pounds. I, of all people, shouldn't criticize such acts whether they were for show or not. At the very least, I know they'll be able to pay my rates. With the headline out of the way, however, I find myself staring at the picture that came along with the clippings. Because, wow. Here I am, expecting a sour old woman in a blazer and skirt. But the woman that was plastered on the front page looked like she belongs on the front page of the entertainment section, or even, if I'm to be crass, as the pinup for a glamour. Okay, I'll be real here. A men's magazine. She sure knows how to rock that dress. Wait, hair, her eyes, her lips. She can't be her. And at the same time, she is her, only several years older. She looks just like... No, come on, Mac. The world is full of pretty blondes. It's just a coincidence. With a shake of my head, I snap out of it and reach out for my phone when it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. Who else would be on the other line but the very people waiting for me?
Oh, piss. I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
That's what I say. Yet I still don't move from my chair. Face flushed and heart racing. I can only stare until I can will myself to reply that, yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And it takes even more time for me to just close the image, shut down the computer, and leave. Even then, it has already burned its image into my head, no matter how much I wish it would just disappear. It makes me eager for the alcohol and the company. It makes me eager for anything that can help me forget. It's a good thing that the nearest pub is just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. The Galway Shawl, as it is called by those who frequented the place, is the only decent Irish pub in this country. Or county, I guess. Country, that would be horrible. You can pretty much tell that someone is new if they call it by its official name, the Crawl Bar. My home away from home ever since I moved to Luxburn. Well, that is when I'm not cooped up in my condo and working away. There's good alcohol, good company, and, thank goodness, in St. Cecilia, good music. Crowd favorites like the Bothy Noise, the High Waisley Men, and Second Fusion Orchestra are often played. Not to mention the singing. I love singing. Anyone could just break out into a drinking song, and the others in the pub were just wonderful that they'd start singing along. And doing so while intoxicated is the best of ways to go about it. Hey, it's a win-win as long as I don't puke in the middle of the chorus, and as long as I can get home in one piece at the end of the day. And tonight is karaoke night. What better time than to try and sing all my worries away? That's what my intoxicated brain tells me.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am, and in the prison of my heart, I was my only slave.
I'm not gonna lie, it looked like that verse when the mic was moving, that she was about to eat it.
Ha 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 ha. 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 But drinking only reminds me of my home. The thought of home makes me think of her.
But in the depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
It makes me nauseous. It sickens me that the smallest reminder of her can cause me such grief.
I'll fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
Of course, that just might be the booze. Any other day, I would have scolded myself for drinking so much.
I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
But I already have a client, and we'll be having our first little meet and greet in a few days.
Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you. 'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
I want to at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow, and return to being a prim and proper professional after.
That song was for Cam, our lucky lucky bride to be. So give her a hand, Galway shawl.
Considering the state I'm in, one can excuse my smug grin as cheers and applause rise up the pub's patrons. Because, possibly off-key public singing aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now. And that's a good reason as any to belt out in front of these strangers. With good drinks and good friends, there's nowhere else I'd rather be tonight. And I forget for a short while.
And that song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone! A round of applause!
That was so good. You rock, Marianne. Oh, please stop. You're just saying that.
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh? Read 'em and wait, bitches.
Kamala's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds it up for all the world to see. She has reasons to be proud. 3 years of living together, and her boyfriend finally asked her the big question. Obviously, she said yes.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am. But enough of me being a downer. Cheers to a happy engagement!
Of course, if something like Haruna's divorce were to happen, I'd be there for Cam. Just as Cam had been there for me, acting more than just my yoga instructor. Can't be happier for my friend right now.
Cheers! Cheers!
Well, we both will be there for Cam, won't we? Haruna and I? Haruna. It's been a real bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice person, even loaning me money to open a studio, and she didn't deserve what her husband had pulled. I'm happy she's smiling again and pigging out like she used to. Think we've all missed our Japanese firecracker. We met in yoga class, something I had joined to keep myself in shape and, well, honestly, so that I could make friends when I had moved to Luxburn. Clearly it worked like a charm. And it definitely didn't have anything to do with the fact that I brought along my lucky D2 die with me on that first day. No, sir. I love these girls so much.
What about you, Marianne? You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man. And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
Oh, come on! That's a lame excuse and you know it! You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now! Maybe some hunk who'll be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right? Hey, look at me, I'm Marianne McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
I mentioned druids and demons once. Once! They don't even know the rules or understand what the numbers mean. And I certainly am not some sort of holy person. I am a far cry from a miracle worker. And I barely have the will to fight off demons. Especially my own.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right. Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
That would explain some things. Haruna, you don't have a ring anymore. Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone. What are you on about? There's nothing to explain.
But the more I deny, the louder they tease until the other people in the pub start to watch. It doesn't help at all when Haruna drapes her arm over my shoulders and leans in.
Will I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
I know that they're just kidding around, but this doesn't make me comfortable in the slightest. So when Kamala notices my silence and Haruna sees the expression on my face, they stop. And when the awkward air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to whatever they were doing before the whole thing ever happened. They probably won't even remember it when they wake up with massive hangovers anyway.
Sorry.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
I raise my glass. They smile. We drink. There's no need to say any more. We're all definitely far too drunk tonight. Eventually the fun times end. It is a weekday after all. And with Haruna being a nurse, she still has to get ready for her next shift. Cam also has a loving fiancé waiting for her at home, and really didn't have to make a fuss about having left some buns in the oven when she took off early. Really, I understand. I was the one who insisted, who was determined to get pissed drunk anyway. Moving to the bar, I sit. Alone at last. Alone with a stranger. I haven't seen him before. Obviously not a regular. He hasn't said a word and just sits there savoring his drink. With his whiskey served neat in one hand and lighter in the other, doesn't seem like he's noticed me yet. Maybe I should go before he does look my way. Because he was pretty and he was blonde. Those two things plus alcohol never did me any good. A thought too late. Judging by the way his flushed face and the dazed look in his eyes, he's as pissed drunk as I am. But whereas I feel like keeling over, he looks like he's still ready to take the catwalk by storm. Really, he just has the air of one of those men who think they own the world.
Hello there, sexy. Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see. Fancy a drink? It'll be on me.
But then again, I might be pleasantly surprised if he proves me wrong.
Want some between the sheets? Sex on the beach? I'm talking cocktails, of course.
Fat chance. But it doesn't matter. We both know how to play this game. There are two different ways for the night to end. One thing or another is going to happen. Question is, what do I want to do?
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
He looks like he is about to say some witty retort, but stops himself and downs the rest of his whiskey. I order a mint julep. He gets another whiskey, and we start the customary small talk. Of course, the saying, ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies, goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, offering up falsehoods to establish a strenuous, fake connection between two strangers at a pub, if only to pass the time. Whiskey, as I have come to call him, is supposedly 21 years old, single, takes care of his sick mother, and is a manager of some sort. Manager of what? I didn't care to listen to the details. Meanwhile, Mint, as he has come to call me, is 29 and I'm... What did I say I was again? Oh yes, I told him that I was a professional chocolate taster. Because F it. If I'm going to lie about what my job is, might as well make it fun. It's a pretty decent chat between two pretty drunk strangers. Maybe it's just me, but we might as effing well expend the tiniest amount of effort in pretending there's something meaningful in this meeting. Would have been nice, too, if it was just left at that. But during a lull in the conversation, he brings it up.
You know, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
And to think he might have been different from the rest.
Never have and never will, whiskey. Can we go back to the history of chocolates? Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
St. Lucy was the most beautiful woman of her time. She had men come from the four corners of the world just to see the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. If she were so lucky anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson. Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
Though not every suitor was gallant, and she was no fool. She had known that sooner or later she wouldn't be able to defend her chastity.
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
So she had taken out a knife and gouged out her own eyes.
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed with her devotion, God restored her eyes, made them more beautiful than before. He has a peculiar sense of humor, hasn't he? Because that only meant suitors kept going after Lucy, and she kept her eyes in a chalice to scare them away.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
Saint Lucy, help me. Help me turn away from this sin. Help me with my own blindness.
My place isn't too far from here. I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you. And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream. You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
Wouldn't have it any other way.